Autobots, roll out!
I'd like to take a moment to thank my channel members. Thank you. It's continued support like yours that keeps this channel growing. And if you haven't already, please consider joining today. Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series 102 Buzzworthy Bumblebee Optimus Prime, and I love this toy. Yeah, that title is a bit of a mouthful. So this is the Studio Series version of Optimus Prime from Rise of the Beasts, but for some reason he's packaged in the Buzzworthy Bumblebee package, which is okay. I mean, it's something new. Bumblebee was packed that way as well, so it's kind of strange, but it is a Studio Series figure, and it is an absolutely fantastic figure. I'm absolutely loving this thing. So here's the packaging real quick. Yellow Buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series 102 with a little BB right there, Optimus Prime. You got some really cool artwork. I love the colors on this new figure. More of that artwork extending over here to the side. And then along the back, you got product package of, or product shots rather, of Optimus Prime, both in his robot and in his vehicle mode. You got a sword, you got a cannon that comes included with it. We'll show those off in a moment. 34 steps to transformation. That's about it for the packaging. And what you get in the packaging is this. So you get the figure itself. You get the sword, which is mounted here. You get the blaster, which is mounted there. We'll get more into that here in a bit. You get a sheet of instructions, and you get the background if you want to use it, if you have room for that kind of thing. There you go. You've got that background right there. Now, getting into the figure itself, we set the instructions off to the side. The first thing that caught my eye about this figure is the colors. I absolutely adore the colors. They're very much. I've got my G1 Prime here on the shelf with me, and these are very G1 colors. That red is very vibrant. It's very G1, and the blues are also very G1, and that's what caught my eye about this figure right away as soon as I saw it, is those colors. The previous versions of these movie primes, both for the Bumblebee movie and for Rise of the Beasts, the previous versions have been a bit more muted red. I love this shiny, vibrant red. It looks incredible to me. The vehicle is approximately 6 inches long. It is about 2.5 inches at the top of the cab here, 3.5 if you want to go to the top of the smokestacks. Rolls really, really nicely. Speaking of paint, silver painted wheels. You guys know me. You guys know I absolutely love that. Check that out. It looks fantastic. I really, really like this truck mode. It's not perfect. There's a bit of a mess happening back here. That could have definitely been handled better. Studio Series figure for the Bumblebee movie certainly handled this a lot better and a lot more elegant than this figure does. But I think this could have been easily fixed with one more hinge. One more hinge for these panels to fold in could have just really cleaned up the back of this figure really, really nicely. It's kind of a shame that they didn't do that, because this back part of the truck here is not bad, and the cab of this truck is absolutely gorgeous. You got nice vibrant red. You got the silver stripe going from the front all the way up the sides and up to the back here. Really, really nicely. Really like the way that looks. Yeah, it's a good looking truck mostly. You know, when you get it at an angle like that, it looks really good. It's really when you kind of turn it and you see these bits right here. That's really kind of the only downside to the truck. Other than that, yeah, I really like that a lot. Now, minor nitpick on the paint. Also, these panels up here, these two panels and this bigger panel here for the head, I don't see any reason why those could not have been painted red as well. There's absolutely no need for those to be unpainted gray. I know why they're gray on the other side. It makes sense, but there's no reason for this. That should have been painted. Other than that, he looks really, really nice. A couple of quick comparisons. Here he is with the previous Rise of the Beasts. This is the regular release, Rise of the Beasts Voyager Optimus Prime, so you can see what the two of them look like together. He's considerably bigger. These are both Voyagers, and you can see how much bigger this new figure is. And what I was talking about with those muted colors, you can see how muted this red is. This vibrant just looks so good in person. But looking at the two of them, so you can see what they look like together. And here he is. I believe this Studio Series, was it 38? The one for the Bumblebee movie? Which, again,
really elegant way of folding these panels up and cleaning up the back of this truck. This figure handled the back of the truck really, really well. In fact, the entire truck was handled really, really nicely with this figure. I wish they would have taken some of these cues and applied them here. That would have been nice to have. But yeah, the trucks look nice together. And again, with that muted red, I just like that vibrant red so much better. That just looks so good to me. And of course, here he is with Studio Series Bumblebee. We haven't reviewed this guy yet. We're getting to it. But you can see what the two of them look like together. Both Studio Series, both from Rise of the Beast. So you can see what the two of them look like together. So this is a little different. This is the part of the video that I usually would cut out or edit out of the video. This is the part where I'm transforming all of my figures so that we can compare them once I get I'm going to do the transformation for the figure on camera, but all of the other figures have to get transformed off camera. So this is the part where I do that, which I would normally edit out. But I'm deciding to do something a little different this time, and instead I'm going to tell you about a couple of shows that I'm going to be going to here in the near future. First show is going to be TFCon. That's going to be in Orlando, and that's going to be October 20th through the 22nd at the Doubletree Hilton Hotel Orlando and SeaWorld. So this is a show. This is kind of our mecca for all of my YouTube friends. Myself, Patriot Prime, Kato's Collection, Rodimus Primal, Deluxe Baldwin, Engineer Hoist, possibly Treebot Reviews. He hasn't confirmed yet. But we're not going there in any kind of an official capacity. We're just going there as congoers, as guests. It's kind of become our mecca. We did this in Baltimore 2 years ago, and we had such a good time doing that. Yeah, we're meeting up this year for it again in Orlando. The other one, again, we're just going as regular congoers. So if you see us, just come up and say hi. The other one is going to be Free Play Florida, and this one is happening November 17th through the 19th. This one is happening at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland, Florida. This is my annual gaming convention, and this is one that I've been heavily involved with since its second year. Just been working with that show in terms of bringing in arcade machines, bringing in consoles, computers, that kind of stuff, doing some of the entertainment work alongside Nathan Barnett and that kind of a thing. This year is just kind of making it official. They've invited me there in an official capacity. I'm going to be an actual guest there, which is really exciting because it's my first time being a guest at any kind of a show. So again, that's happening November 17th through the 19th at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland, Florida. If you're in the area, come and check it out. It's the best arcade in Florida, the biggest arcade in Florida for one weekend. It's such an amazing show. And if you're there and you see me, come up and say hi. I'm going to finish transforming these and we're going to get back to the review. Transformation for Prime is relatively simple, but complex enough to be fun still. So we're going to start by removing the accessories, which I haven't shown off yet. So we've got this right here. We'll start with this one. And this is going to be his hand cannon. This is going to plug in where his hands go to kind of do that whole arm transforms in that cannon kind of a thing. He didn't come with a rifle, which I sorely miss. But that's all right. I got a 3D printer, so I made him one. We'll show that off in a moment. So we've got this little cannon piece right here. It's got a couple of tabs, and you can tab it to either one of these side pieces right there for storage and truck mount. So we'll just unpeg that, set it off to the side. The sword is actually pegged in between the legs right here. So we'll start by transforming the legs, which is just literally 3 steps. It's so super simple on the legs. Take the tanks, close these in. Take these panels right here, and we're going to pop these off. And these panels are pegged in. There's a little hole right there, and there's a little slot right there, or a tab rather, right there. So that tab goes into that slot, and that peg goes into that port right there. So we're just going to pull these panels up and separate the legs. And once you get the legs separated, you can go ahead and take the sword, which is just pegged in right there, set that off to the side. So on the feet, we'll just take the foot right here, flip it over, and rotate it to the front. Take this little blue piece right here. We're going to rotate this down and back. And then we're going to bring this blue piece down and just clip that into place. That's it. 3 steps on the legs. Now, my right foot on mine, this ball joint has been super, super tight. And half of the time it pops off. I have to be real careful. I've been working it, so it's been getting better. But it does come off on occasion. Rotate that. Bring that panel down, clip it in place. That's it. The legs are done. The legs, literally, like I said, 3 steps and you are done. These panels right here, go ahead and untab these. These are little peg and pull right there, so just unpeg those. That's going to let you move the legs around. And let's start back here with all this. I really love the way that the panels fold on the cab right here. So let's start with, let's start with the grill. Go ahead and take the grill and pull it forward. Whole thing is going to come off. There are ports back here that peg into these pegs here and here. So this whole thing just kind of unpops from there and just bring it forward and get it out of the way as much as possible. I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself, but you can take the wheels right here and just flip these in. I love how it does that. I absolutely love that detail right there. All right, so we'll start with this panel here, and we're going to flip this panel. Do we start with this one? Yeah, we'll flip this panel up like so. That's got his Autobot logo right there. Do that on the other side. These panels here, we're going to take these from the top right here. We're going to split this down, bring it all the way down, and just kind of fold that in for now. So again, bring this panel out, just unclip it, bring it all the way down, and then the top piece right there, just kind of fold it in that way. Are we ready to bring the arms out? I think we might. So let's do this. These little panels, remember I was talking about the panels that are unpainted? Just untab these and flip them over. These have little slots right there that are pegged in or they're tabbed into these little tabs right there. And with that, we should be able to bring the arm out. And the transformation is on the arm is not what you expect, where this is just going to come out this way. What it's actually going to do is on this U-shaped piece, this is going to come up like so, and then it's going to come down and you're going to straighten it out. Open up this panel, which allows you to rotate the fist out, close that panel, and then we're going to close this up and over like so. Rotate that, and there's one arm done. So again, we're not bringing this out like we normally would. We're going to actually bring it up. Then we bring it down and rotate it forward. Once we're here, we can open up this panel, rotate the fist out, close the panel, and then close this panel right here, and rotate the arm around. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take these little panels right here, and we're going to flip these up. These are the panels that these leg pieces were tabbed into. Flip that up, and the arms are pretty much all done. We can take the whole upper body here, rotate it around, and then we can stand them straight up. It's getting nice and tall. I love the way this robot mode looks. So we're going to go ahead and take the windows. We're going to open these up. Take the head piece right here, flip it up, and then this grill piece is going to flip back down again. And this is neat how it does that, because when the head was in, the windows, you notice they closed all the way, but now that this piece is here in the way, when you close the windows, it leaves that gap there in the center, just like the movie model did. And then finally, we're going to come back here, take the grill right here. This is going to peg in to his back. You got the back piece right there that forms the back. And there we have the Rise of the Beast, the Studio Series Optimus Prime in his robot mode, which stands approximately 7 inches tall. And he's taller, and those colors just being more vibrant, he just looks really, really good to me. Just, I don't know if it's a combination. I think the colors, the height, the silhouette of him. This is a beautiful looking Optimus Prime figure. I cannot get over how much I love this figure. Just check him out. Going all the way around. I absolutely adore that shade of red. I love those blues. No hollow spots. Check it out. This guy looks solid. I absolutely love this guy. Coming in close to show you a shot of the head, so you can see that's, that's Optimus Prime from the movie. And yeah, he looks really good. He's really nicely articulated. Head is on a ball joint, can go up and down, side to side, inquisitive tilting. The arms can go up and down. They can go forward and backwards all the way. We can rotate at the elbow. Nice bend at the, or rather rotate at the bicep. Nice bend at the elbow. And the fists, I love this because even though the fists are on the rotating pin, they are still articulated enough to go in and out some, and you can also rotate them. So you have articulation at the wrists. You have an ab crunch. This is for transformation, obviously, but it works as an ab crunch, which is really nice. You also have rotation at the waist. Legs can go forward that far. They can not really go far to the back. And the reason for that is the way they rotate because of the panel here. What they've done is they
the hinge is actually here. So when the leg rotates, you'll notice it kind of comes down on that hinge back there, which gives it a nice forward kick, and it doesn't, it kind of works around this panel here on the hip, but it doesn't go back all that far, which is unfortunate. It does go in and out, rotation at the thigh, nice bend at the knee, and the ankles are on a hinge, plus they're also ball jointed. So you got a nice range of movement there, again, at the ankles. Works really, really nice. Bringing in the weapons. There are several things that we can do with the weapons. So with the sword, you've got ports on the side here. So if you want to peg that on the side, you can. That's a way that you can go with it. You can also peg it on this side, or if you have other weapons, you can do that as well. You also have the handle right there, so you can hold it in your hand like a traditional sword would be held. Or my personal favorite is you'll notice that the panels that we flipped to put the arms in and out have a little hole in them, a little port right there, so you can actually peg the sword into that right there, bring the fist in a little bit, so you've got that kind of like that effect of the sword coming out of his forearm, which I really like. I really like the way that looks, and I like the way that works, and I absolutely love that they give us those options. That's really, really neat. Now, in terms of the blaster, honestly, to me, it's kind of meh. It works. It works well for what it does. You just take and retransform the arm, or the hand rather, back as if you were going back into truck mode, and then you can just peg this in right there. So you've got that effect of the arm, or the hand rather, transforming into a blaster, or the blaster coming out of his arm. So, that works right there. It's not bad. It works. It's just kind of underwhelming to me. I missed the black rifle. The previous two figures came with a black rifle. This one did not, and I kind of missed that. But that's all right. So now we can also store these in the truck mode, or in the robot mode. So you got the pegs back here. You can just peg that back in there. What I do is I kind of just tilt it in so it doesn't show from the front. And then you can use these tabs to go into that little peg hole right there. And that also holds right there. So that is a way of showing them off, or rather storing his weapons in the robot mode. Now I 3D printed this. I know this is more of a G1 gun. I need to come up with a file, or find someone who has a file with a gun closer to the Bumblebee movie, because that's what I would like to give this guy. But there you go. That's what he looks like with a rifle. And he looks fantastic. This is a beautiful figure. I absolutely love the way this figure looks. A couple of comparisons real quick. We're going to start off with G1 Prime, because he's always here in case I run out of cough drops. And I just want you to look at the colors, because, again, this is what really pops to me. That red is really close to that red, and that blue, it's not. This is more of a purple, admittedly, but it's a deeper, darker blue than on the other figures, and this really gives me that G1 vibe that I love about the overall design. I mean, let's face it, the design of this guy was meant to evoke memories of G1, right? This figure does that for me. And you can see that right there. They look absolutely fantastic together. Now, let's look at him next to his predecessor, Studio Series figure from the Bumblebee movie, so you can see what the two of them look like together. And he's actually taller. He's actually taller than this figure. Again, this guy being so much taller than the other figures really kind of works for me, and just makes him look so good up on the shelf. I don't know. I am in love with this figure. I cannot tell you enough how great I think this figure is. Here he is with the mainline Voyager Optimus Prime from the same movie, from Rise of the Beast. This is the Studio Series version. This is the mainline version. So you can see what the two of them look like together. Of course, we have to look at him next to Optimus Primal, because, we'd be remiss if we didn't. So you can see what the two of them look like together right there. And in fact, let's just set these off to the side. We'll put Prime in the middle, and then over here we'll bring in Bumblebee. So we have part of the lineup for that movie. So you can see now these two are Studio Series. This is a regular release. I don't know if we're going to get a Studio Series Optimus Primal. I hope we do, because, I'll give you my money right now. So there you go. So you can see what all of them look like together. This is a fantastic figure. Released in the summer of 2023. This is brand new, hitting store shelves right now as at the time of this recording. It is a Voyager class figure, so it retails for approximately $30. And I found mine out in the wild, and I have not been able to put this figure down since I got it. This is an absolute must-have, must-add to your collection if you're into Transformers, if you're into the live-action Transformers, if you're into G1, or if you're into Optimus Prime like me. You gotta have this figure for your collection. And I think that about does it for the Transformers Studio Series 102 Buzzworthy Bumblebee Optimus Prime from the Rise of the Beasts movie. What did you think of this figure? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.